Hello and welcome back to Storytime with Mrs. Haurigi. I'm Mrs. Haurigi. Today we will be finishing my very favorite book, The Absolutely Essential Eloise. I absolutely dislike school, so Philip is my tutor. He goes to Andover. My mother knows the dean. He wears red garters and is boring. When we have our French lesson, he reads in French about Le Petit Cuisine de Marie and her jardin, and sometimes I listen to him, but not very often. Here's what makes Philip angry. He says, "Alors nous commencerons," and I say, "Alors nous commencerons." Sorry, that's French. And he says, "Shall we settle down, Eloise?" And I say, "Shall we settle down, Eloise?" And he says, "That's quite enough, Eloise." And I say, "That's quite enough, Eloise." And he says, "I mean it, Eloise." And I say, "I mean it, Eloise," right back at him. And he looks at me with fiercely eyes, and I look right back at him with fiercely eyes. And then he says, "That will do, Eloise." And then I say, "That will do, Eloise." And then he shouts, "Eloise, I mean it." And then I shout, "Eloise, I mean it," right after him. And then he gets madder and says, "Stop it at once, Eloise." And then I say, "Stop it at once, Eloise." And then he stands up and says, "Very well, Eloise." And then I stand up and say, "Very well, Eloise." And then he walks around the room, and then I walk around the room, and then he screams, "Nanny!" And then I scream, "Nanny!" And Nanny comes in yelling, "Non, Eloise." And she claps her hands, and Skipper D and me, we skibble over and hide behind the television or fall dead behind a hidden door. And then Nanny puts her arm around Philip and calls room service and says, "Send 3 of everything, please." And then the waiter brings the check, Nanny signs my mother's name, and I simply tell him to charge it, please, and thank you very much. Then I do a cartwheel. Philip is always glad to go home. Every night, I have to call room service to send up that menu so we can order our dinner for Lord's sake. I always have to read it for a few seconds or so. Then I just say, "I'll have the planked medallion of beef tenderloin with fresh vegetables, Mason, please, and 2 raisins, 1 strawberry leaf, and 1 clams in season. S'il vous plaît, and charge it, please. Thank you very much." Oh, I absolutely love room service. The knight's maiden's name is Lily. She's married the engineer of the subway and cut her hair, but I think she's sorry. She gives us extra pillowcases and soap. Once there was this most terriblest storm that came up, and it rained, and all this thunder was clomping itself into this water, and all these people were drowning without air. Absolutely no one was saved. Paper cups are very good for talking to Mars. TV is in the drawing room. I always watch it with my parasol in case there's some sort of glare. Oh my lord, when it's fight night, Nanny is absolutely wild, and we have to scamper into our place and get ready, and Nanny has to find her players, and I have to get my binoculars and call room service and order 3 Pilsener beers for Nanny and 1 meringue glacé for me, Eloise, and charge it, please. Thank you very much. Here's what I hate. Howdy doody. Oh, I absolutely love TV. Every night when it's time to go to bed, Nanny yawns out loud as she says she is tired. I make as much noise as I possibly can, like turning on the phonograph real loud and hollering at it. A lot. Then I have to brush Nanny's hair for her, and then we both yawn out loud and get into our pajamas. Then I have to put on my "Don't Disturb" sign and get Skipper D and Weenie and me all tucked in, and then Nanny opens the windows enormously wide so we can have air. Then she turns out the light. Nanny has a mole. Sometimes we go to sleep right away, but not very often. Sometimes Weenie and Skipper D and me, we get out of bed and go into that closet and look around for a while. Then we get in there. There is this cave, and it is so dark in there that it's absolutely black, and there is this big bug in there, and has those enormously large feathers, and he picks us up by our necks and sklanks us around his paws and carries us down into the deep well that is all filled with tigers and lions and birds of prey. They eat us up raw and step on us and stamp their feet on us and absolutely rank us. And we have to run for our lives and drag each other on our stomachs and scrape our face along the side until we are absolutely breathing and stretching our arms to reach the closet door barely in time, and our heart is beating and we have to wake Nanny with a flashlight in her face to save us and put witch hazel and cotton all over our toenails. And Nanny has to get up and pamper me and spoil me for a while I am out of my head with fever and pain. After all, I am only 6. Oh my Lord, there's so much to do. Tomorrow I think I'll pour a pitcher of water down the mail chute. Oh, I absolutely love the plaza. Thank you so much for reading with me today. I really hope you enjoyed this book as much as I do. Please like this video and subscribe below. Bye-bye.